We've known for quite a while that Hunter x Hunter is going to be returning in October of 2024, but thanks to an update made on Togashi's official Twitter account, we have more news about just how many chapters we're going to be getting, and more details about whether if Hunter x Hunter is going to be releasing weekly or if it's going to be switching to a monthly schedule. Be sure to stick around until the very end of this video as I'll be detailing everything that we need to know about the current hiatus, how many chapters of Hunter x Hunter are going to be releasing, along with the current goings on with the Succession contest arc. So without further delay, let's dive into the latest Hunter x Hunter news. The current hiatus for Hunter x Hunter has lasted for 1 year and 9 months. It had started following the release of chapter 400 in December of 2022. On December 21st, 2022, it was announced that Hunter x Hunter will go on hiatus. At the time, the weekly Shonen Jump editorial department had shared a very rare message with us, revealing that things will be changing following the release of chapter 401 and onwards. They stated that they have spoken with Togashi about his health condition and they have decided to now publish Hunter x Hunter in a format other than a weekly serialization. Togashi is going to continue to write the following chapters and the editorial department will continue to support him until he completes the manga. The details of publication dates and the method for future chapter releases was yet to be revealed at the time, but they did say that any new information will be shared in future issues of Weekly Shonen Jump. Chapter 400 ended with Kurapika forming an alliance with the 5th prince of the Kakin Empire, Tubetpa. This was in order to tackle the threat of the 4th prince Saraidnik. So that was December 2022. Then in March 2023, we had news from the president of Shueisha, as apparently he had greenlit Hunter x Hunter to return within Weekly Shonen Jump. This approval had come following the release of the last 10 batch of chapters. So with this, Togashi and his team of assistants had started to work on the next batch of chapters. Usually he does release batches of 10 chapters, but for this particular new release of chapters, we know that he's been working on more than 10 thanks to the information that he's been sharing to us via his Twitter page. He had posted about chapters beyond chapter 410. And to be honest, for the most part, throughout 2023, fans were following Togashi on Twitter and they were treated to periodic updates of his progress. Via the bottom of these manuscript pages, we were able to tell just what pages of each chapter he was working on. So on June 1st, 2024, we had seen that he had completed the rough manuscripts for chapters 409 and apparently had started work on chapter 410. This was very interesting. On the 7th of June, he had revealed that the inking was completed for the manuscript of chapter 410. In terms of chapter 405, dialogue has been inserted for characters and he's currently working on the backgrounds, and work has also begun on chapter 411. Now this was our first hint that we were going to be getting more material than just the usual batch of 10 chapters for whenever Hunter x Hunter was going to return. Togashi continued to post updates throughout all of June as he revealed at the end of the month that inking had started for chapter 414. One of the final updates in terms of a completed chapter number that Togashi had given us was on the 17th of August, where he said that the inking has started for chapter 418. Now this is totally unprecedented. For the last 10 years, Togashi has not returned and done more than 9 to 10 chapters in one given batch. With Togashi revealing on the 17th of August that inking for chapter 418 was complete, we were pretty much aware that we weren't too far away from the return of Hunter x Hunter being announced. Via the numbers on the bottom of these pages, we had seen that he was making steady progress with chapter 418, but he had also given us updates about his current health condition, as he says that doing some color work for this batch of chapters had caused him a lot of back pain, but he went for a treatment and he's feeling much better. Apparently someone had pointed out that his posture was different when he was coloring in comparison to when he was doing just black and white manuscript work for his chapters. Because of this, he says that he really hates coloring. Now I don't think it's required for him to color, but it's something that Togashi wants to do himself, so he's putting himself through this pain for the sake of his own artistic vision. On the 19th of August, it was announced that Hunter x Hunter would be returning on the 7th of October October 2024 for this year's 45th issue of Weekly Shonen Jump. So this of course was following the conclusion of Jujutsu Kaisen this week, and now next week Hunter x Hunter is going to be releasing, and at the same time it was also announced that volume 38 of Hunter x Hunter would also be released. Now it's not unusual for a volume of Hunter x Hunter to release alongside a new batch of chapters that Togashi has drawn, and this has been the case ever since Hunter x Hunter has been going on hiatus. Whenever it's back for a batch of chapters, a volume is usually released to coincide with it. For the author notes of volume 38, Togashi writes that Gon does not appear within the volume as he thanks his readers for understanding. To be honest, it does look like an excellent, eye-catching volume cover, and I think because of featuring such a prominent character on the front of the cover, it had resulted in the sales for volume 38 being totally exceptional, as it had sold over 500,000 copies in its first week, beating the likes of My Hero Academia, Spy Family, despite Gon not appearing in the manga since chapter 345, which was released in 2014. It seems like his iconic status as the protagonist of Hunter x Hunter had definitely helped to spark the sales of volume 38, and hopefully this all-new return of Hunter x Hunter, which I do hope is free from multi-year hiatuses. So yeah, this is how the table of contents of Weekly Shonen Jump looked for issue 44. For the next issue, number 45, Hunter x Hunter is going to be returning alongside with One Piece that was also on a break. And it just looks surreal that Weekly Shonen Jump is currently being carried by two huge series from the 90s. An all-new update made by Togashi just today reveals that he has completed the character drafting for Hunter x Hunter all the way up until chapter 420. As he says that his team is working on the inking and background for these 20 chapters, and that Weekly Shonen Jump's editorial department is going to decide on the publication schedule of these 20 chapters. He also says that him and his team are working to draft 10 more chapters before the end of this year. So that's a total of 30 chapters, which takes us all the way up until chapter 430. Now this is most certainly going to be ending the Succession Contest arc, and hopefully this is enough for us to break this cycle of 10 chapters and then the series going on hiatus for 2 to 3 years. Hopefully with Togashi working hard with assistants and with the Weekly Shonen Jump editorial department deciding upon the release schedule, we won't just be getting 10 to 20 chapters all in one go. They'll hopefully spread all of these chapters out in order to give Togashi and his team enough time to work on the next batch, so that Hunter x Hunter is constantly a part of our lives without these really long breaks. As of making this video, Togashi reveals that he's started work on chapter 421, as he says that he started to draw the characters, and he posted here that he's done pages 1 to 2 of chapter 421. So the reactions from fans have been incredibly positive, as they've been saying that Togashi's been on fire since the spring, as he's been constantly working on manuscripts and has been drawing characters, with his assistants doing the inking and the backgrounds. And despite it not being confirmed that Hunter x Hunter is going to be releasing weekly chapters, people are still overwhelmingly positive about the return of the series. I do think that there is an air of things are going to be different this time around. Unlike previously, we actually know that Togashi has up to 30 chapters that are currently in the works, and has left us all feeling very hopeful for the future of Hunter x Hunter. I speak for all of us when I said that I'm just in disbelief. I was already happy with there being 20 unpublished chapters which were ready for release, but on the 29th of September, Togashi saying he's going to try to crank out another 10 by the end of the year, it just literally leads me to celebrate and feel like we're going to be eating really well as Hunter x Hunter fans. Togashi truly is dedicated. Despite his chronic back pain, he is still working on the series for the sake of his fans and for the sake of completing a story that he had started. It's also pretty awesome that Togashi is being very transparent. He's regularly communicating on Twitter. He's also had interviews like the one that he had earlier in the year, where he spoke about the 4 possible endings of Hunter x Hunter, and should he be unable to release the end of the series, then he has shared possible scenarios for how the series could conclude. So with the Succession Contest arc looking very likely to conclude within this batch of 20 to 30 chapters, what do you think about the future of the Hunter x Hunter story? Things are really heating up as there are so many moving parts currently at play. Fans are really excited and supportive of Togashi's return, and I do hope that this marks the end of Hunter x Hunter going on hiatus for 2 to 3 years at a time, and us being drip fed 10 chapters in that span of time. I think Togashi and the Weekly Shonen Jump editorial department have found a way to make things work, and I hope that Togashi continues to steadily release these manuscripts and work on the series whenever he is in good health. But yeah, do subscribe to the channel for more Hunter x Hunter content. I'm most likely going to be doing chapter reviews, as well as explaining and analysing a lot of the complicated concepts from the series, because it has been a long time since we followed the events of the Succession contest arc, so you can definitely expect me to get you all up to speed with what's been going on. But yeah, it's a super exciting time to be a Hunter x Hunter fan. Thank you for making it to the end of this video, and I cannot wait to see you in my next Hunter x Hunter video. A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.